That Prime Minister Narendra Modi has dialed Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, and he has put out a tweet saying that spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu about recent developments in West Asia. Terrorism has no place in our world. It is crucial to prevent regional escalation. He goes on to say that, and in order to ensure safe release of all hostages. Prime Minister Modi also says that India is committed to supporting efforts for an early restoration of peace and stability. So clearly, as the tensions or the crisis in West Asia escalates, we are seeing this important phone call being made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Netanyahu. Ghazali is joining me live from the newsroom. In fact, he's joining me live from outside now in Delhi. Ghazali, coming to you, the fact here is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bibi, as he calls him, have a great diplomatic relationship. The question is how much of that will translate into Bibi actually listening to what Prime Minister says?
See, we know that, the relations between India and Israel, especially under Prime Minister Modi, he enjoys a good camaraderie with Mr. Netanyahu. But when it comes to asking for de-escalation, the entire world and all the global superpowers, be it US, UK, France, Germany, the European Union, everybody has been begging Mr. Netanyahu not to escalate the situation on all fronts. Yet it doesn't look so that perhaps Netanyahu or Israeli government is in any mood to accept any kind of ceasefire, a temporary pause to the war, because what we saw in the last 48 hours after Hassan Nasrallah's assassination in Lebanon, Israel continued its attack and took out Houthis in Yemen through aerial attacks. It also attacked and killed some Hamas leaders in Lebanon itself, and yet another attack in Syria as well. So Israel doesn't seem to be in any mood to accept any kind of talks until it takes out all those who were involved since October 7 in attacking in Israel at different borders, Lebanon on the north and Gaza and Hamas towards the Gaza. And right now, though the Prime Minister enjoys a good relations with him, and he has spoken to Mr. Netanyahu in the last 1 year since this war broke out multiple times, appealing that this escalation should now stop and Israel should also accept a ceasefire. But we heard the defense minister just a couple of hours ago. He was with the army troops on the northern border of Israel, asking his troops that we will take what it takes to eliminate all the threats on the northern border of Israel, and that also hinted that perhaps Israel is planning for a ground invasion into Lebanon. At this time, it is significant that Prime Minister Modi spoke to him, because he happens to be one of the very few global South leaders to have spoken to Mr. Netanyahu, because all this while the Middle Eastern players, be it leaders from Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, who also happen to play the role of mediator, as well as US, France, UK and Germany. These were the leaders from these states were in touch with either Netanyahu or were part of the peace efforts. But now Prime Minister Modi have spoken to him. So we'll have to see whether we get to know what kind of response Bibi gave to Mr. Modi, or whether he will change his plans and not escalate the situation on all its border areas.
Continue to be with us, because I have another question for you, Ghazali. As the war in West Asia intensifies, we are seeing the statement which has been issued by Hezbollah as well, that they are ready for any on-ground invasion by Israel. And Israel has also continued with its strikes in central Beirut. Where is it all headed? Is it sharpening the battle lines with the countries all over the world taking sides?
See, Maria, realistically thinking, Israel has been going after Hamas for the last 1 year, yet the rockets are flying into Israel from Gaza. The same goes with Hezbollah. These organizations don't run they do run under a leadership, but their decision, their momentum doesn't stop with the killing of one leader or the other. Because everybody from Iran to Yemen to Lebanon to Syria, all these leaders very well know that Israel has the might to strike and take them out anytime through the day. And that is what Israeli Prime Minister also issued a statement addressing the people of Iran, that we are not enemy of Iran, but we want a regime change there or a change in Iranian system. So right now, even Hezbollah the deputy chief of Hezbollah addressed the nation saying that perhaps we are ready for a ground invasion. But why Israel has a chance here right now? Because they know that Hezbollah has been inflicted maximum damage with the killing of Mr. Nasrallah. And more than that, there were many commanders. That entire chain of command has been eliminated. Iran has not hinted that there would be immediate retaliation. So with these two circumstances, Israel sort of sniffs a chance that if they go for ground invasion, they may not face a lot of resistance. But things can change, and West Asia, the situation changes every minute. Till morning, it was being perceived that perhaps Israel will not attack anyone beyond Lebanon. It killed some people in Syria as well. Attacks happened in Yemen as well. People have been taken out, or those affiliated with these Shiite militia groups have been taken out in Iraq as well. And that is why for Iran, it's under intense pressure to ensure that its leadership and its axis of resistance partners don't feel that perhaps Iran has abandoned them. And Iran also knows that it doesn't have that kind of military capabilities to counter Israel. More so, its partners like China and Russia have not shown any kind of a stand that they will militarily support Iran if it takes to the offensive against Israel. So as of now, Israel certainly has an edge militarily as well. And the way Mr. Netanyahu has reacted in the last 1 year, that despite all the appeals of ceasefire, despite all the appeals of de-escalation, he has not chosen, and he had his way, and he will perhaps go for ground invasion into Lebanon as well.